Perfect. We are now live. Hello, Stiliani.
Hello, Mr. Moyes, and welcome everyone to yet another episode of The Void. And today is a very big day, as it's Mr. Tom Moyes' birthday.
Thank you very much.
Some of us, we've got obviously known Tom for a little while, as half of the boys. There was speculation that Tom would not live to see this day of 25. But Tom, you've made it.
Never thought I would. It's been an incredible journey through tough mud.
Yeah. We were, I should say, intending to film this yesterday evening, but we got slightly.
It was impossible.
Yeah.
England were playing.
There was some beer in the fridge,
and things led to another. So we didn't manage to get around to it.
But here we are this morning, refreshed by our breakfast of leftover Domino's pizza. Suban.
Healthy. Yeah. We've eaten so many carbs in the last 12 hours.
Oh yeah, we had the crisps too. Yeah. Well, all the healthy things in life. And it's obviously been a week of massive stories. But the week before it had some equally big stories. I think we should probably kick off by, before we go on something like Brexit, by focusing on a couple of updates from Tom's life that have occurred recently. So, Tom, you recently have been in South Africa. Can you please explain to the audience what exactly was going on there?
So I went to South Africa for work, to Johannesburg for a distributor meeting. And I went also to Botswana to visit a hospital there, and I found a couple of customers.
Why did you go to these countries for your job?
Mostly to drink. Technically, it's for to explain financial solutions to like either end customers or the distributors. So either hospital owners or people who sell to the hospitals. And I actually got quite an interesting story because on the weekend I decided to stay in Cape Town, and on so I came in. Well, first I came direct back from Botswana, and then on the plane, just as we land, like a torrential storm starts, and so we just land and there's rain pouring all over the place, and then there was lightning and stuff, and then we got struck by lightning. Our plane got struck by lightning. Everything went off. And we were like, oh no. And then they couldn't open the door because I thought they were manual, but apparently they needed some electricity to make something work. So we couldn't get out. We were stuck. So I was like, oh no, I'm gonna miss my plane to Cape Town. But everything got delayed because of the storm, so that went fine. But I arrived there, have a nice dinner at the waterfront, and decided to go out and see what happened. So I wandered off to this bar, which was kind of people were a bit weird in there. Like young girls dancing with old men, heavily putting their ass.
And
and it was okay, it could be interesting. There was a band playing, and they seemed all right. And
I like the fact that your reaction to all this. Oh, this could be interesting. Keep on going.
Yeah, that seemed like it could be interesting. The bar wasn't at all full, and it was mostly people going to this a cycling tour event, and I started talking to some dude outside. I was just trying to make a friend, basically. And he was really, really, really drunk, and didn't really actually speak very good English. Afrikaans guy, white Afrikaans guy, and with a couple of his friends. He was like, oh yeah. I was like, okay mate, yeah, sure. And he seemed like he was on drugs or something, and then he came, oh, you're all right. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. It takes me a lot to get drunk, so chill. just wait. And
give it 2 hours.
Yeah. And we go back in, like, he's with his friends and stuff, and like, one of his friends says, "Oh, be careful, he's gay." I was like, "Is he? Is he really?" I had no idea. And then that's when but soon after things started getting a bit weird. Like he was becoming a bit like rapey and stuff in what he was saying. And like at one point at the bar, he was like, "Oh, I haven't bought you a drink. I haven't bought you a drink.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure you're feeling all right? Like, we can go back to mine." I was like, "Oh my god, this is terrible." so I was like, "Yeah, I'm all right, mate. And like at some point he said, "Do you want to fuck me in the arse?" I was like, no. So I started talking to like the next person that I saw. It was like a girl from Zambia. Like I had to teach that like that, and I was like, "Oh, it's probably."
This is like an awful form of like speed dating.
Yeah. And I talked a bit to her. She was like, "Oh my baby," like I was like, "Oh my, okay." So I was like, "All right, the band's finished playing. I'm going. Like, bye guys." So, and I go to another bar, and want to do around the block just to like visit a bit where I am, and then go to another bar and like. Who do I see there? The girl from Zambia and the other dude at the bar, like just like where I arrived, so I couldn't like kind of backtrack. It would have looked really awkward at the bar where I was gonna order. So I'm like, "Oh, fine, all right. What do you want in terms of drinks?" just get them 2 drinks, and like the girl from Zambia, I was like, "Oh, you are wonderful, man. You will become president," and stuff. And like the dude was becoming jealous somehow, and like he was like, "I don't listen to her. She's a whore." I was like, "Oh, this is horrible. This is so weird. All South African people like that." And then she was like, "No, don't listen to him. You will be a great politician and stuff. You are a good man. He is terrible." And then he was like, "Oh, you fucking whore." And then I thought they was going to go down to a fight, so I'm like, "Quick, I need to go outside." So I ended up like going outside and meeting this group of Germans working there, and I was working in South Africa or something, and I was like, "Yeah, I need a German stability right now. Please give me someone normal." Yeah, they were fine. They were good lads.
Logic, order.
Good lads, actually. We went
the German way.
Went to the Long Mile after and went to a couple clubs. We went to a beer bar which has like loads of different beers.
Oh, nice.
With the Germans, and obviously 90% of the Germans ordered German beer in South Africa, which is quite funny, but
goes without saying.
That was a little story from South Africa. Yeah.
There we go. So we got that one, and Tom, he's been through a very serious medical procedure, having flown out to go to Prague for some expensive hernia surgery. I should say Tom's was an extremely talented hockey player, still is today. He's played for youth France at youth level, and rather like a Premier League star, he's flown over to like.
It's Prague. Gone downhill ever since.
So you did your hernia in a little while ago.
Yeah,
and you decided it would be a good idea to, let's not wait for the NHS, let's fly over to Prague.
Well, exactly. I'm at risk of any complications in between. I didn't have a date for surgery.
Okay, yeah.
I waited ages, and so I just decided, okay, I'm just going to do it somewhere where I can do it in 2 days, because I could have possibly done it in France, where I could have stayed back home with my parents, but the problem is you have to do a consultation, then wait 3 weeks. So that means one trip to France, come back, do another trip to France, and probably it's going to be more expensive too. So I just decided, Prague's good, good quality. I got treated a bit like a king there, so that's good. The nurses were quite fit.
Oh, were they? Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you ever want surgery, a good place you're going to recommend Prague. Does Bratislava do
I'm
surgery?
sure.
I'm sure it does. Yeah, one of our favourite countries in Europe is Slovakia.
Yeah, that's amazing for for the girls. It's at least like tens everywhere. It was a bit depressing actually somehow. I don't know why.
You found you were depressed there. I mean,
it was depressing to see so many good-looking girls. I don't know why.
I mean, we were quite.
But maybe it's thinking like back home where it's not as much. I don't know.
I think we were all very, very hungover by that stage and quite bloated, and tired.
Bloated.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell your story when you took the Imodium?
Oh, I think I'm put myself in some hot water here. Yeah, basically.
This was on the Interrail.
Yeah, it was
a trip across Europe on the train.
Yeah, so this was about what? How old are we now? 25. So it's been about 4 years ago.
It was 2014, I think.
2014, yeah. So basically, we decided. So I just started my teacher training, and I think you guys just finished your last year at uni, right?
Yeah.
We decided we'd go and trek around Europe. And
nine of us.
Nine. Was it?
9. Yeah, Kieran. Yeah.
We had Kieran. We had Kieran too. He's a rather large man, so getting him onto trains was a bit of a struggle. Like everyone pushed together. but yeah, I should just say this podcast is definitely for over 18s, maybe 16s. I don't know what YouTube's guideline is. I don't really care.
No guideline.
Yeah. It's a free for all. It's a free for all. But toddlers, close your ears.
Many toddlers who will be joining the podcast about weird stories about South Africa and Interrail.
Yeah, just stick us on CBBC, you know. After Blue Peter. We've obviously digressed massively as usual from what we were going to talk about. But we were talking about the Imodium. So we were in Krakow. We ended up staying there an extra night because we tried to book an evening train. There were no trains going until the next morning or something. So we ended up staying an extra night. We got pretty drunk. Tom had come in that evening, particularly drunk from what I remember. It was Krakow.
It was in Budapest, I believe.
No, it was in Krakow, and then we went through Slovakia because I took the Imodium in. I took the Imodium in Krakow because I had a rather loose stomach, shall we say, and also I completely underestimated the power of Imodium. Like, obviously, it's only meant for when you've got some serious diarrhea, but I just decided to take it because I didn't really know that it was that strong, but I just decided to take it even though my stomach was feeling a bit loose. And for the first day in Krakow, excellent. You know, felt fine, went through, and then we ended up getting to and then maybe we were travelling to Krakow because I remember taking it. That's it. We got a meat platter before we left, I think, because we had meat platter number 1 because we had all of our bags and stuff with us in the restaurant, and then we went to Slovakia. And by this stage, I was a bit like, okay, it's been a day or two. It's been 36, 24 hours. And I was like, I've had a meat platter, I need to go to the toilet. And I was like, obviously I can't go to the toilet. That's when I told the boys. I got fairly ribbed. Everyone seemed to find it quite funny, apart from me, who would quite like to go to the toilet at a stage. But then it kind of digested, and then we were obviously in Czechia and Bratislava, and we got another meat platter because we saw this restaurant with loads of amazing girls going past. Cheap beer.
It had stripteasers too. In the You had them like massive meat platter, like stripteasers on the side. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, like we have to go.
Meat too.
It will be. Like stag do is perfect territory, but basically, we had another meat platter there, and obviously by the end of that, I was like a balloon. And then when we got into, and then we had to go, and then we were only there for one day, and then we ended up going to Budapest. And by the time we got to Budapest, still no Ole, so I'd swollen like a balloon. So it was horrible. And then we went out in Budapest, and unfortunately the next morning I was able to relieve myself after 2 or 3 days of just like meat platters, beers. I guess we had more of that in Budapest actually, but at least I could go. Even if
before we went out, that was the funny part. It was like, you're like, I can't go out like this. Like, look at me, I can't go out like this. Like feeling all bloated. I haven't pooed in like 4 days.
Honestly, I thought I was going to explode, but Yeah, well, that's a classy start to the podcast. I don't know, what kind of viewers we're going to get. I really hope my mum doesn't really watch too much of this, etc. I can't remember if I've told you the Imodium story. I think I may have done, but Mum, if I haven't told the Imodium story, there you go.
Wonderful.
I presume we're not just going to talk about an inability to crap and you going around drunk.
Yeah, well,
are we going to talk about? Are we going to touch upon Brexit?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to start by giving your views on what has happened and what you think will happen, and maybe what you would do or what you think would be best? Yeah.
Okay, I guess there's 3 questions in there. Okay, so what has happened? Well, to put it simply, what essentially has happened is Theresa May obviously came out with a deal with the EU in December. A huge sticking point of that deal was the Northern Irish backstop. She, of course, had already lost a parliamentary majority, and I think that was a really critical moment, if not the critical moment in the Premiership, when she called that election. That was smart, hey? And then lost her majority. But then with the backstop, in an ironic way, because she'd obviously got to support the DUP, to gain the majority, she ended up losing another majority because as soon as she agreed that and brought about, the EU leaders have enshrined it, so they can't really go back and to be fair to them and change their treaties. It's very difficult for them to once they've passed it through their parliament, etc. And then obviously she hasn't been able to get enough support from her own party, essentially, because of the ERG and a few other Tory MPs, it must be said, plus the DUP. So she's got no able majority in Parliament to go and push it through. This being said, she is still the executive and the legislator and the rest of the. And so far, we haven't had anyone else be able to, propose anything else as well. However, we're now I think the next week coming up is the critical week because she's now failed to get this through twice. She wants to try one more time, whatever the speaker may have said in terms of his amendments. She claims she's gone back to the EU and got, a couple of weeks ago, obviously the legal binding, assurances, which are apparently, according to the Attorney General, not so binding. So yes, and then of course she also went and insulted the MPs a few days ago, didn't she?
Smart move.
Smart move. I mean, she might have a point, but to go and insult, the very people who you're relying on for support is a bit, particularly when
because the goal was to kind of put pressure from the population on the MPs,
on them,
but that still doesn't work because whatever pressure you put. If you're trying to get something from someone, putting pressure is never the good way. You're trying to loosen things up, give them a cup of tea and let them chill, and then they'll come your way.
Yeah,
but you can't put pressure on.
Yeah,
that's never going to work.
Particularly when huge amounts of the fault for what's happened lies on your doorstep. So yes, we can.
Or maybe she's gone the complete other way, and it's a double bluff, and she wants. She's now not wanting her deal to get through and maybe cancel Article 50 because of the no choice, because they voted no Brexit in the Parliament. Then she can justify it because that is kind of what she wanted at the beginning. She didn't vote for Brexit. So.
No, she didn't. But I think she was what you call a reluctant Remainer, and she was somewhat in between the two camps. I don't think she's been committed to delivering it. Unfortunately, her capability for delivering it is questionable. Let's put it that way, to be polite. Questionable. In terms of what I think will happen, I think we're in a situation now, and it's quite clever from the EU's wording, where essentially they said either it gets through and to allow all the technicalities and, cross all the various dots, etc. We'll extend it to, was it the 22nd of May?
Before
the European elections, so that would allow us to exit just before them. Very neat. Or if she can't get it through, and so either she is defeated if she brings to the House, or she just doesn't bring it through at all. I guess there are two options. If one, she brings to the House and is defeated, then at that point Parliament might take control and we'll get a long extension, and then who knows what will happen from that. We'd have thought it would only be a long extension if something meaningful behind it, like for example an election, or it could get really messy if May decides not to bring her deal through, because then presumably she's going to need a long extension, or she's going to try and feel out Parliament with a series of indicative votes. But that will be interesting, because at that point, is she going to try and take control and steer the indicative vote process, or is Parliament going to take control? Either way, you'd have to say she's looking quite snookered on all fronts.
She's snookered herself, as you say.
Yeah. So I think either in the end she'll get her deal through, or I think in the end she won't bother putting it through, and at that point, I don't know. I presume Parliament might well take control of the process. You'd probably have to say if it's a long extension in an election, somewhat, or something like that is somewhat inevitable. Because you've got the problem, if it's not May, of any other authority not having the proper authority to go and do it. So it seems to be either May's deal or a long extension, and who knows.
A long extension. So what do you think would be best? The long extension or the May's deal? Because long extension, I mean, it could get even messier.
Yeah. I think I agree with you. I think I've always, I think, to be honest, if you asked me back in Christmas, I'd have said, for the sake of the country, I think it's a very weird one, as it feels like people have been very much pushed into one or two camps. So you're either very much in the Brexit camp, or you're very much in the Remainer camp. There isn't too much of a compromise in the middle, but you could argue May's deal is somewhat doing that, as in it still tries to preserve, like, let's say if you're a young student, May's deal still allows you to go back and forth between the two, between Europe and Britain quite easily. However, May's deal was always the problem with it was always the backstop, and okay, it might be a little bit of a less risk now, but that still maintains. But May's quite an impressive achievement, as in her deal, which is clearly very thwarted, seems to be, in some ways, at least to me, maybe the best of the least sort of terrible options now. Out of all of them, if you're looking at the options, it's the only one where I can see where at least, I think if May's replaced once her deal passes, then at least you've got some stability and order, and at least we can have somebody maybe more capable come in and steer the country for the next couple of years. At least that's the hope. Whereas the other paths, I don't see no deal really being an option. With the Parliament, I know legally we might end on that day, but I quite feel that with the EU saying if you reject it, we can extend it up until then, that's giving breathing space for a new government to come up. No, not a new government, but for an alternative plan to be proposed, and then for it to be put to the EU Council, and then boom, long extension happens.
It could be, I think, and because a reason for the extension could be another referendum, according to the EU. That could be a reason.
It could be a reason.
I would definitely see somehow the vote of non-confidence happening, maybe a hard Brexiteer coming in, and then that's triggering a referendum on either Brexit with no deal, or using May's deal with maybe some amendments here and there during the long extension.
It seems,
and that could sway either way. Maybe I would say that maybe there's a high chance that people would vote hard Brexit, actually.
Who knows?
Especially if it's someone like Morgan up there leading at that moment in time.
Yeah. I think this is why I think with a long extension, I'm rather it seems to me at least become incredibly messy, because let's say we went for a referendum. Well, who would even decide upon what the wording would be and what the options would be? Because if you're speaking about in the fairest possible form, the fairest thing to do if you were to have a second rerun would be to have multiple options available to people. But that's incredibly messy to already to go and enact. Or you're having an election, but at that point, well, then you've got infighting within at least the Tories in terms of who's going to take it. Is it going to be, if you want, the Johnson Mogg ERG wing, or is it going to be the other wing of the party? Let's say someone like Amber Rudd, the likes of that, or is it going to be a compromise candidate in between? Either way,
what if
lots
Labour?
Of infighting, or if it's Labour, who's going to go and lead? Because Corbyn doesn't have complete, authority over his party. So again, it could be the party somewhat, coming asunder.
I'd be interested if Labour would win if general election would happen. Which
what with Corbyn?
Have they been hiding a plan and have actually got? Because all you say is all you hear from Corbyn is criticism against May's deal, basically.
Yeah.
without any alternative. But it's also not in his advantage to propose an alternative at this stage in time. So if they would win the general election, I'd be very interested to know, have they actually been hiding a sort of plan?
Yeah.
Because they keep saying that they will go through with Brexit as proposed, but maybe that will turn itself on it. They will turn on themselves and say, we actually thought that we would revoke Article 50 and do another type of deal, maybe more like Norway kind of deal. I don't know. But I'd be interested to know if they've actually had some thought about it, or if it's just been total criticism and with nothing backing that up, which I think it probably is the case.
I think you're right.
But maybe not. I would be interested to know what if anything has happened behind the curtains or not.
Well, I think I guess there's two elements to that. So I think if you were to sit down and ask Corbyn what his plan was, he'd probably tell you that his plan was to have an all-encompassing customs union, either one which currently exists or a new one. But that, in a sense, and this is my criticism of the Labour position, is May's made many faults, but essentially I think Ken Clarke put it, and I'm not trying to take political sides here, I voted for both parties in the past, but I must say one valid very criticism of Labour is Ken Clarke's put is what exactly is Labour's opposition to the deal? Because Jeremy Corbyn says, he wants an all-encompassing customs union, but that's essentially what the backstop is. It's a customs union, which Britain could be trapped in, with also from the British perspective, the caveat of Northern Ireland also being part of the single market. Now, Corbyn doesn't necessarily seem to mind too much about that. So what exactly is the Labour opposition to the deal, as opposed to simply opposing it for, as you said, the sake of opposition and the chance to, force an election and get into power? And in time of a national crisis, that's a valid criticism to put on Corbyn's door. But also, to be fair to Corbyn, he's also had the difficulty, if you look at it, since the 80s, 90s, Labour's become very much, as a parliamentary party, extremely pro-European. Within it, you've had people like him and the likes of John McDonnell who've been more Eurosceptic. So in a sense, they are the more Eurosceptic part of the Labour Party that have emerged to go and lead it, but still the majority of that parliamentary party and membership is very pro-European. So that's caused huge issues for them as well.
Yeah, it would be even harder than for May to pass anything. So all in all, I think it's quite messy. I think we will have to cut this episode short due to time constraints.
Thomas taking his lucky girlfriend Lindsay out to lunch.
Well, she's taking me.
She's taking you out for lunch. Yeah. Where are you going?
I don't know. I think it's a surprise.
It's a surprise. Tom should have been there, I think, a hour or two ago. She's used to it. We'll get to there. I'm going home to be responsible.
It's your dad's birthday.
It's my dad's birthday. Yeah. So
that's not me.
Tom might look very old, but in fact he's only the tender age of 25. But we should probably stop following there. Finally, if anybody wants to be our producer, and also if they're young, beautiful, and single, even better. Apart from that, we're just going to say,
I'm sure that will attract many people.
I'm sure it will.
On this, have a good weekend.
And
see you next time.
Yeah. Au revoir.
Au revoir. This